And welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel, guys, on what is one of the most important weeks this club has seen in years. We have Bayern Munich on Wednesday, and we have Real Madrid on Saturday. And with the form that we've already been showing throughout this season so far, we're optimistic, we are excited, we are confident. Can you imagine if we win both? Well, that starts here. This is the moment to deliver. This is the moment to stand up and prove yourselves worthy. We know what we can do. We know what we've already achieved this season, but this is where you need to deliver. We're going to be talking today about everything that's to come. We're going to hear from Raphinha, from Hansi himself, and we're going to be talking all about the big lineup decisions and, of course, the big match predictions, guys. It is on the way for you. Come on, all together now. Let's do this. And of course, guys, ahead of this monster clash, as if the stakes couldn't get any higher, well, check out this super thanks here from Melvin. If Barca beat both teams, Bayern and Real Madrid, I'm going to talk to the girl that I like. The pressure is on more than ever now, Barca. And a huge thank you as well here to Camille, who says the game against Bayern will be like a Champions League final. So much is going to be decided here from the outcome of this week, because right here and now, this is where Barca stand in terms of the Champions League games we have to come. We did lose our opening game. We went a man down so early, of course, against Monaco and lost that one 2-1. We bounced back then with an emphatic win over Young Boys. But now it's time for a much bigger test. And of all the games we have to come, this is the one that stands out. This is the one that we all highlighted. We want to play Bayern. Now, I know that sounds crazy. We're going to be talking about the head-to-head meetings in just a moment or two, but we want this game. We want to show that we can compete. Because when you're looking here at the Champions League table right now, I know there's a lot to look at these days when you're looking at the Champions League standings, but it's quite incredible that after two games, both Barca and Bayern, and even Real Madrid there, they're all right next to each other in the table as it stands right now. There's lots to play for. There's everything still to happen here. And Bayern, of course, they did lose their last Champions League game. It was a real shock defeat there. They went to Aston Villa and they suffered a 1-0 loss. And has that just dented their confidence any? Is that something there that Barca can work on and play on there? That sense of vulnerability, just maybe, that result may have given Bayern. That is something that Barca will certainly be looking to. But I think it's quite incredible. When you're looking here at Barca, when you're looking at Bayern, especially what we spoke about yesterday in the tactical preview, they are so similar. Even their season so far in the league, of course, they're both top of the league right now. Bayern are level on points there with Leipzig. But even in terms of the goals per game, Barca right now are at 3.3 goals a game in the league. Bayern are at 3.4. You know, it's so similar here between the two teams and their outlook and their whole style of play. We both want to go for it. This is going to be an extraordinary game. Make sure you're ready for that. It's going to be wild. Because I do think, guys, coming into this one here, for both coaches, they're both early on in their first seasons at their respective clubs, Kompany and Hansi Flick, of course, and you feel the significance of this game. For instance, there, with Vincent Kompany, he's come in here from Burnley, from relegated Burnley to Bayern. I mean, it's an extraordinary leap there for a very young, very exciting young coach. But he's got a lot to prove here. He's shown so far that he can be very brave. I think his tactics there are certainly showing that on a weekly basis. And I think Bayern fans are quite excited about what they're seeing right now from Kompany, but they want to see him prove it at this level, in the biggest of games, where Bayern, of course, expect to be performing. And I think with Hansi Flick, we know he's already proved himself in this competition. We know firsthand what he is capable of, but now we want to see that at Barca. We know so far there have been extraordinary changes with Flick. We have seen this Barca team absolutely transformed, but again, now is the time to really show it. Now is the time to put on the afterburners, deliver against Bayern, and then take all of that momentum into the weekend against Real Madrid. But indeed, guys, there is a clear reason as to why each and every one of us Barcelona fans wanted Bayern. We want to play Bayern and we want to beat Bayern. And the reason for that is We have failed to do it on so many occasions recently that we're desperate for it now. We want some sort of revenge. We want to prove to ourselves that we can overcome this obstacle. And it's an enormous opportunity for everybody right here. Because when you're looking at the head-to-heads recently, and I'm sorry guys, we've got to do this. You've got to understand the significance of this game. And to do that, you've got to look at the losses. It has been absolutely woeful for Barca against Bayern in recent years there. 3-0 defeats, 2-0, back-to-back 3-0s in the Champions League group stage. And of course, the 8-2 defeat inflicted by Hansi Flick himself, guys. But I think in particular there, I would look at the 2-0 defeat at the Allianz. And of course that was at the start of the season there under Xavi. And that game still angers me. That game still frustrates me to my core because the first half of that game, it was special. It was fantastic there. Barca were playing so well. We should have gone in at half-time 2-0 up. Lewandowski should have scored both of them. And we ended up losing the game by that scoreline. And we were never the same. We never recovered from that moment away at Bayern there. And I think Lewandowski, he's got a point to prove. He absolutely has. I think there would have been a real bitter taste for him after that particular game. It was written in the stars, it felt like it, that he was going to score against his former club. And it never happened. It never came. He ended up in the Europa League. Bayern fans were laughing at him. But he's got another chance now. And what better way to strike against your old team? What better way here with the form that he's on as well? And to do it alongside the coach who you shared so much success with at that very club. However, guys, along with Robert Lewandowski in that forward line, there's another player who's got a massive part to play in this game. We spoke about it yesterday in the tactical preview. Raphinha, he is pivotal to what Hansi Flick wants to do. And today, he actually faced the media there in the pre-match press conference. And what he said, and the way that he said it, it really struck me. Because he actually spoke in that conference there about the Instagram post that, remember, he actually liked over the summer there. It was posted there by a fan, and it was basically Nico Williams already with Raphinha's number 11 shirt. And he said, seeing that, it was disrespectful. He said, I know that it was a joke, but it was made in bad taste. We must respect the players who were here. And right the way through this press conference, Raphinha was locked in, and that is the way we have seen him all season long. I think he went away over the summer off the back of that really exciting end of last season, and he heard the rumours about Nico Williams, he heard about the rumours that he may be leaving the club, he may be forced out, and he thought, you know what? No. And Flick has shown so much belief in him, and he's playing with fire within him right now, and you see that every minute of every game, and he said there, I assure you, every player, not just me, not just the captains, but every player, we will give 100% tomorrow out there. We are looking for a win. We are prepared for this challenge. Every Barca player must be ready. And again, he spoke about the confidence. Again, he spoke about the trust that he's had from Flick, from his teammates as well. They're giving him the captain's armband at Barca. He said the mindset which I started this season, it's been different. It's been different to any other season in my career. He's ready, guys. Let me absolutely assure you of that. Raphinha, he's a different beast now. He is a different player entirely, and he's ready tomorrow to make that game his own. Then though, guys, of course, there were the words of Hansi Flick himself, and I thought these words here, they were very impactful, very powerful in the way that Flick walked into his press conference today, and just the feeling to me, it felt different. It just felt like a different kind of vibe ahead of such a big game, because there was calmness there, there was confidence, there was belief, and there was a steely focus there from the head coach of Barca that, you know what, we will be ready for this. He said, my team wants to test themselves. They want this kind of game to show that they can compete against the best opponents. He said, it will be a great game against Bayern. We are ready. Flick was adamant today. The team, we prepared well, we are feeling good, the confidence is there, and we are ready for what awaits us. And when he was asked about past defeats against Bayern, defeats that he himself, of course, was on the other side of, he said many times, and he has done for a long time here at Barca, what's happened before, it's irrelevant now. We're not thinking about the previous losses against Bayern, we're not thinking about the record against them, none of that is important. We're preparing for now. We are ready to win tomorrow. We're living in the current day. And what I thought was extraordinary as well is that he was asked a question there again about Marc Casado. He was asked by the journalist there if he plays in a game like tomorrow there with all of that pressure in such a big game. He said, how do you think he's going to feel with that kind of responsibility? And Flick's answer, do you know what he said? He said, what do you mean if he plays? Speaking about Casado, he said, what do you mean if he plays? He has been doing an incredible job. He said he's really motivated. He's always trying to improve, which I like. And he follows orders well. He communicates as well, very, very well during matches. And Flick there just showing again that confidence in these players. Somebody like Casado, that last season he couldn't have dreamt of playing and starting in a game against Bayern. Now his coach is saying, what do you mean if? He's in the team, he is ready, and he will be there. Make no mistake. But aside from the Barca press conferences as well, guys, I think it's interesting to see tonight what Vincent Kompany has had to say and about Pau Kubasi, because I thought it was a huge compliment that he paid the young centre-back there when he said tonight he will be one of the best defenders in football history, providing he can stay injury-free there. He said he's so young, he's so impressive with the performances that he's putting in, and not only here is this very high praise ahead of this game from an exciting young coach in football, but also considering how good Vincent Kompany was as a centre-back there. Somebody actually paying you a compliment who is so brilliant in their own right in that position. That is absolutely amazing there for Pau. But I also thought it was really interesting too to listen to Joshua Kimmich in the press conference today, because he was actually asked, do you rule out a move to Barca in the future? Can you rule that out there when you may become a free agent in the summer? Could you rule out going there? And ahead of the game against us, he did not rule it out. He said, I am not thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about this game. But he said, you should never rule anything out in life, and also in football. And he actually went on to talk about how influential Barca and the Spanish national team has been on him as a player there. He said they left their mark on me. Xavi Hernandez was my idol. Pep Guardiola's Barca was a revolution. Joshua Kimmich here, ahead of playing Barca, he cannot stop with the praise either, and he could not rule out a future move. However, guys, we must talk about the team news. We must talk about the expected lineups here from the two teams. And let's start with some big news at Bayern, because we spoke yesterday about the importance of Jamal Musiala, about the fact that he hasn't played since the start of October, but he is going to be ready to face Barca tomorrow there. He actually trained in full with the team on Monday, and it was Bayern's sporting director actually that confirmed that he's with the squad, he is going to be involved, he is important, and he actually said, we're going to see how long he stays on the pitch. Now that implies to me that Musiala is starting, and then Bayern are going to see how long basically he can stay out there, how long he can last. But he's going to be in their team. And as we spoke about yesterday, he is a vital part of their project. He's a vital part of their whole system. Under Vincent Kompany, we must stop him at source. And of course you do wonder whether in this game the two attacking midfield players, the two number 10s if you like, will they both be coming into this match off the back of injury problems? Could Musiala start for Bayern, and could Dani Olmo be ready to come in and start for Barca? And I've got to be honest, guys, the closer that we get to this game, I'm not actually sure he's going to play. I'm not sure that he's going to be ready to start. We're hearing a few rumours in the media that his entourage are worried about a relapse if he's thrown back in, if he's brought back too early. So I think Barca here, given that he wasn't used at all at the weekend, are we going to start Olmo, or is it all being kept a big secret? That may be the case, but right now I am just not sure. And then there's the situation with Frenkie de Jong, because again in the media we're hearing that, yeah, Flick may have said he had discomfort at the weekend, that's why he didn't play, that's why he didn't come on. The media though was saying that Frenkie was left out for other reasons, that Hansi Flick actually wanted to send out a message to Frenkie because he wasn't happy with a few things that have been going on outside of the field there. So what is the truth right now? Are the media simply guessing ahead of this game? Do they not really know what's happening inside of Barca? For me, that would be good. That would be very, very exciting here if nobody quite knows what Hansi Flick is going to do, because it's also very possible, do not rule this out here, that Flick starts with exactly the same team that we saw at the weekend against Sevilla, that absolutely dismantled Sevilla 5-1, and it's possible that Ansu could play. We've got a great super thanks here from Augustine, who says that Ansu should start this game and that maybe Dani Olmo should come on later in the match. And Flick has shown this season that he likes to repeat lineups. If he sees something's working, if he sees the team with real confidence, he will stick with it. Could he do that here? But right now, guys, honestly, my outside bet to start this game, I think it could be Fermin. I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say maybe he's going to be the big surprise in our team. I don't know if we're going to push Pedri more advanced, if Frankie is quite ready to start. So what if Fermin gets an opportunity there in that number 10 role? What a moment that could be for him. You tell him there, go out there and have the game of your life. And you feel like his style, his skill set there, maybe it matches up quite well against a team like Bayern Munich. They're really running at them, taking on shots from range. Could Fermin have an impact in this game? Could he get the nod from Hansi Flick? We are about to find out. However, guys, we still have the very, very important topic of predictions, because the score right now, again, you've narrowed the gap, 18-11, and this game, it's double points, and the weekend will be against Real Madrid, because in terms of the first goal scorer, you are in no doubt at all. 73% opting for Robert Lewandowski. And that, by the way, is up against everyone else. Right now, he is firing. He is scoring the goals for Barca. And can he do it against his former team, Bayern? And we're all in on this one. I am also opting for Lewandowski. We are all together. We are all as one. Fire us to victory, Robert Lewandowski. And in terms there of the winning margin, I mean, if we go down here, I don't know, the 8+ option, I was considering putting it in there, but, based on previous record, I decided not to. So let's stick with what we know. And you guys have opted for a win by 2+ goals against Bayern. I think there's confidence among the Barca fan base. I believe here that we feel as though a victory is possible. And if I was going to guess a score right now, if I was going to go with my heart, with my gut, whether this is my head or not, I don't know, but I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go Barca 3. Bayern 1 on a historic night, and what could mark the beginning of a famous week at this club? Can Hansi Flick deliver it? Can this be the moment where we stand up and say, we are back? That's loading. That is ready to go. And on Wednesday, we will truly know and understand whether we really are cooking. So that there, guys, is all of the build-up ahead of Barca versus Bayern. And what I want to know from you is, can we do it? What is your feeling right now? What are you hoping for? And what are you expecting? What does your heart say? And what is your head saying right now? Let me know all of those feelings, all of those pre-match thoughts down below. And I'll see you after the game. I will be here with you when that final whistle goes. And I hope we are euphoric. I will see you then, guys. Thank you for the great support. But until next time, as always, Vejka, El Barça.